Another night of sleeplessness and anxiety is endured by this young man. A state of attraction, passion, and desire held in check, and visions of his future with the woman of his dreams. In the ancient traditions of the Arabian Gulf societies, from which we see all that is best and noblest in Arabian culture, a girl from the neighborhood, or even the girl next door, is often the most likely choice for a good marriage, and the most likely focus of a young man's aspirations. Ahmed is impatient to turn his dreams into reality and determined not to lose his opportunity. He goes to his mother and tells her of his desire, knowing that she, in turn, would go to his father with this plan for marriage. Ahmed's parents are always in close mutual consultation about the necessities of life and family within their culture. Ahmed's mother confides in her husband and reveals to him that her only child, Ahmed, wishes to marry the girl next door, Salha. Ahmed's father is pleased with this good news and bids Ahmed's mother to commence making all the necessary arrangements to achieve what the whole family has been waiting for. As is customary in Arabian culture, Ahmed's mother meets with a woman who plays a very important role in the community, the khataba. The khataba circulates through the neighborhood and other nearby communities, searching for girls who have reached a marriageable age. She works hard to arrange engagements, seeking parental approval for marriage of their daughters to the young men of the community who are eager to fulfill their social, cultural, and religious obligations. Traditionally, a girl worked with her mother and learned all of the domestic tasks from her. This was how she learned to maintain her own future household and family. The khataba arrives and immediately her eyes are set on Salha at work. She informs Salha that she wants to see her mother. Salha's mother comes out to meet her guest and takes her aside so that they can talk privately. According to Arabian custom, guests must be shown much honor and hospitality. Salha proceeds to receive the guest with great care and attention, mindful of her duty and wondering why this woman, who watches her every movement so intently, seeks a private discussion with her mother. In the Arabian Gulf societies, it was believed that the khataba brought good luck to every house she visited, and that it was therefore their duty to please her. In this way, the family visited would gain a good reputation, as the Khataba spoke well of them to the family who sent her to engage the household's daughter to their son. Salha's mother cannot help but show her happiness upon learning of her plans for her daughter, and happily promises to please the Khataba. It is dinner time. A chance for the wife to tell her husband of her conversation with the Khataba about their daughter Salha. Father listens carefully and then shows his approval. This pleases mother greatly. Salha cannot resist eavesdropping on her parents' conversation about her. The men of the community finish what the women of the community started. At this gathering, the engagement is made official. All details are discussed and agreed upon, most notably the al-mahar, or dowry, the money that the father of the groom dedicates to the father of the bride. The people who have attended the engagement congratulate the groom and his father, and the father of the bride. Then they eat dates and drink qahwa, Arabian coffee. Social cooperation was a vital attribute of the daily lives of the people of the Emirates, as it was in the rest of the Arabian Gulf. As the news of a neighborhood boy's engagement spreads, a community figure invites people to his house or courtyard. Here, he, the groom, and the father of the groom receive invited guests in celebration and in recognition of the community's support and good wishes. The wealthy of the community also donate money. The women assemble separately in a similar fashion. They offer their gifts, support, and congratulations to the mother of the bride. The wealthier women may give the bride gold and jewelry. Most importantly of all, the women must arrange a special room for the wedding night, called al-khayma or al-farsha. The room is cleaned and furnished. They also prepare the bed where the groom and bride will spend their first night together. In the traditional weddings of the Emirates, the bride is hidden from sight for 7 days. None are to see her but the hawafa, the woman assigned to take care of her and prepare her for the wedding. The hawafa rubs the bride's body with al-nil, a smooth blue preparation mixed with water to become a paste much like henna. Then the bride is dressed in black clothes to complement the dark blue color of the alnil. None but the close female friends of the bride may attend this ritual. During the preparations for the wedding, the bride's household becomes a hive of activity. The women of the neighborhood help the bride's mother. Some clean the rice and put it in bags for cooking on the day of the feast. Others prepare the rest of the food. The atmosphere is festive and joyful. The bride's mother offers sweets and Arabian coffee to her friends in thanks for their help and support. Covering the bride's hands and feet with henna is a tradition that has continued to this day. It is still an important ritual in the modern weddings of the United Arab Emirates. On this day, the bride washes the blue alnil off her body, and the hard-working hawafa applies the henna. The friends of the bride sing and clap cheerfully. As for the bride, so for the groom. Traditionally in the Emirates, the groom also wears henna on the night before his wedding. One of his relatives or close friends covers his hands and legs with henna. One important aspect of the wedding celebration is the slaughter of sheep and goats, and the giving of the meat to the neighbors. A feast is cooked for the guests. In the bride's house, the women put the cooking pots on fires and organize everything else that is needed to prepare the feast. One of the traditional musical forms for celebrating weddings is al-ayala, performed by a band of men, often the main band in every wedding. The band performs near to the house of the bride, starting in the afternoon and continuing until the sun sets. The ayala musical form is a source of pride for the people of the Emirates. The guests will dance, and the family and friends of the groom, and then the groom himself and his father will also dance. Finally, the long-awaited seventh day arrives. The bride puts on her ceremonial clothes, and the hawafa styles her hair and anoints it with traditional perfumes. Then she adorns the bride's hands with golden rings and bracelets. Collectively, these jewels are all called al-sur. This seventh night is the wedding night. It is called al-melcha, and it is when the couple are officially married. The groom, his father, the father of the bride, and close relatives and friends go to the matawa, the traditional name for the religious man of the community. The matawa performs the marriage ceremony according to Islamic law before the assembled witnesses. When he is finished, he wishes the newlywed couple a happy and successful life, and then he congratulates them. Then the groom and his friends go to the house of the bride and receive more congratulations. According to tradition, the father of the bride leaves the immediate area and will sleep at a relative's house. It is the wedding night. Everyone but the father of the bride is there celebrating. This night is hosted by a band called Ah Allah, a few hours before the groom goes to the bride, who waits in her house. The groom and his father continue to receive congratulations from family and friends in an atmosphere filled with festivity and suffused with the scent of Arabian perfumes. Before he goes to his bride, the groom invites his friends to sit with him in the wedding tent. They talk and joke until the Hawafa arrives and asks his friends to leave. They go, and the groom gets ready while the Hawafa makes last-minute preparations. It used to be the custom in the Arabian Gulf for the bride to be carried to her groom on a precious Persian carpet. The women hold the four corners of the carpet, lift her off the ground, and carry her to the farsha, where the groom awaits her. They put her down in front of the door and pull the bride to her feet. She resists, but they continue to pull her up until she gives in. Then they push her into the room. She resists again, but the groom joins in, pulling her into the farsha. In the morning, the Hawafa knocks on the door, and the bride comes out, covered in her abaya, to be escorted gently to another room. The groom is congratulated for his wedding night by his friends and relatives, and they join him for breakfast. Again, the Hawafa will knock on the door and ask them to leave the groom, who must get ready to rejoin his wife. The Hawafa has once again dressed and anointed the newly married girl, so that she may walk to her husband in the light of day. This is one of the most important rituals in the traditional wedding of the United Arab Emirates. It is at this time that the Hawafa will remind the groom of the fee to be paid to her for all of her work for the wedding. On the third or fourth day of the marriage, feelings of passion, devotion, and mutual growing between the couple. This is considered to be a strong base for a successful marriage, according to the traditions of the Society of the Emirates. One of the customary events that takes place on the seventh day is Al-Miksar, when the female friends and relatives of the bride's mother get together at her house to see the gifts that the groom has brought for his new wife. Jewelry, gold, accessories, fabrics, and so on. These gifts are collectively known as al-zihba. They are shown to the women, who are curious to see how generous the groom has been to his new wife. the 7th day of the marriage, the moment has come for the bride to leave her house and go to the house of her husband to begin her married life. The mother bids her daughter farewell with feelings of sadness and happiness. She gives her daughter some final advice, telling her to take good care of her husband and her in-laws, and wishing her a happy life with her husband. Then the Hawafa escorts the bride and her party to the house of the groom. With joy, and carrying a collection of sweets that the people of the Emirates call linthur, the mother of the groom welcomes her new daughter-in-law and bids her to be the first to step foot into her house. She lovingly bids the bride and her company to walk into her new home.